Hey friends, welcome back to Minimalese. My name is Becky Truda, and on this channel I like to talk about decluttering and minimizing and living your best life. So today is kind of a reflection of what I've been thinking about the past week. It is getting ready to be the giving season of the year and also the receiving season of the year. And I've just thought over, the past decade or so of gifts that I've asked for, gifts that I've received from other people, and things that now I just regret that I asked for them, or I regret that I got them for myself because they were things that I ended up not really loving. And I thought I was trying to fulfill some kind of thing or live up to someone's expectations, or it was gonna bring me happiness, and then it just didn't. It didn't live up to the dream that was in my head for myself and my life and anything else. So I wanted to go through those 10 things with you real quickly, and maybe it'll bring you a little inspiration of either things that you can get rid of yourself from your house, or maybe things that you'll just remember. Don't ask for them, don't buy them for yourself this season, and just remember to reflect on how the things around you already can bring you the same kind of happiness. If you like these kind of videos, remember to hit that subscribe button. It will just pop my next video up so that you will be able to see it next week. So as the season of giving is getting ready to take place, and we all know Christmas is coming, or Hanukkah, and it's just a time when a lot of us end up giving each other presents. And so I really wanted to do this video as a great reflection on things either that I've been given or I've bought myself, thinking that they were going to bring me happiness. So the first category, that is mainly things that I bought for myself, and that is furniture. So I used to be one of those people that just thought that there needed to be a piece of furniture on every wall, and that there needed to be a piece of storage for everything, and that it was going to keep me organized, and I was going to feel so successful and like a good mom or a good wife because I was going to be so organized with all these pieces of furniture. And how crazy I was to think that, and how opposite it actually is. What I've found out over the past 3 or so years is that the less furniture I have, the less clutter it actually creates, because it just makes me put things away. It doesn't give me a place to just throw things on, and it actually makes the room feel a lot lighter. So I've gotten rid of a lot of bulky furniture that I used to have, and that was mainly because I couldn't clean under it. It was hard to move myself. And as I really reflect on all the time I spent at yard sales and stores and trying to buy things off Marketplace, I thought it was oh, it's me and my husband's time together or whatever. But really, at the end of the day, he would get so angry with me because then I'd want to move it into different rooms, or try it here, try it there. And then I'd be like, well, I don't know if I really love it. Let's sell it. Or, let's replace it with this big piece of furniture. And in reflection, it was so frustrating. It was frustrating to me, but really for the other person who could care less about that piece of furniture, it was really frustrating. So that is definitely one thing that I've given up. A lot of the furniture you see around our house now are things my husband has made, and they are light but nice quality, made out of wood because that's his favorite thing to work with. And even our upholstered stuff, like the couch we just got, anything new I'm buying, I'm just remembering that I want it to be light, airy, and easy to clean and clean under, because those things are just so important to me now. I don't want it to be a hassle for myself and put pressure on other people to have to make them help me. But then number 2 is one that I actually just bought for myself. I bought this rug off of Target, and I will actually throw it in the link. I did return it, but it's not because I didn't like it. I did like this rug. It turned out with our lifestyle and the way we were living, my husband thought he wanted a rug, and I was down for trying. And then I found this one. It was like a ruggable rug, but way cheaper than a ruggable rug, and I thought it was nice. It wasn't big and thick and heavy if that's what you're looking for, but it was you could wash it in a washing machine. It was light. You could easily pick it up, which I thought was really great, especially with having dogs. But at the same time, it was just not good for our lifestyle. It just became a hassle, and I'm all about getting rid of hassles in my life and not creating more. And so my husband actually totally agreed, and we just returned it. The next thing is a gym membership, and that is something that I had bought myself, and it was to Gold's Gym. And reflecting back, it was awful. It was a terrible experience. They wouldn't let me out of my contract, and then I ended up moving, luckily, so I was like far enough away, and they said that I could get out of it, but it was gonna be 2 years before they let me out of this contract. And so I will never, ever, ever get another gym membership, especially to a place where you can't get out. Like, the YMCA has been great because sometimes we'll join for a couple months and then we'll unjoin. And so we can save the money in between if we don't end up wanting to go. But, if my daughter wants to take classes, it's just cheaper, and then we can join it and enjoy it for the summer, and then we cancel it. But I will never buy another gym membership where I am under some kind of contract, because I swear they tricked me. That I believe I never would have signed it anyway, even back then, but I feel like they told me that it didn't have one, and then they said no, it did. So I don't know, it was the very fine print, I guess. But I will never do that again, and I will just never sign up for any kind of membership that I know I can't get out of. So these container boxes that are in her craft room, it's the stackable, and they're boxes and you can lift them out. I really don't enjoy them, and I only bought it because the thing I actually wanted on IKEA was sold out, and to buy it on Amazon was super more expensive. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this next best thing. And like they say about next best things, just stick with the best thing. And so I actually, 2 years later, ended up getting what I actually wanted. It's in Carrie Ann's room now. But now we just keep some random stuff on it, craft stuff, that kind of stuff in the other room. I would love to actually go and get the L-shaped, no, it's not L-shaped. I would love to go get the IKEA storage unit that I have in Carrie Ann's room right now. I would like to get another one to put in the playroom, but then I'd have to get rid of that, so it feels like a waste because it's not broken or anything. But it's just one of those things that I reflect back and I'm like, man, I thought that was gonna bring me so much happiness, and I was gonna be so organized and everything was gonna be so good. And then it's well, why did I settle? I knew I wanted the other thing, and I settled, and it didn't bring me as much happiness. And this, the piece that I have from IKEA does. It's so much better quality and better made, and things don't just fall out of it. So, everything is, 2020, perspective is 2020. Thinking back now, I would never buy another one of those. All right, so this one really rings true, especially because the season of giving is coming and the season of wanting to decorate our house is coming. And that is, I regret getting all that excess decor, getting all those Christmas trees to put everywhere, getting all the things that are just specifically for certain seasons, or the faux plants everywhere, and the extra picture frames, and goodness, the mirrors. I had it all, guys. I had it all. I had everything. I used to think that any bare wall would bring me stress, and I just hated it like that. And so I used to just cover all my walls with things. And reflecting back, it caused me a lot of stress because it was things that I had to get dusted, and I never had time for that. And all the excess decor was just, I had to store it somewhere. And now reflecting back, we have a few things that are sentimental. We have things that Jordan's mom or my grandma have given us, and those mean a lot. And so we keep those, but we don't have just rooms and rooms of stuff. I remember, especially when we first had my daughter about 5 years ago, that I used to decorate the house, but I would decorate every room. Every room would have the theme of Christmas, and it just became so overwhelming to put it out, so overwhelming to keep up with it and then put it away. It is just a breath of fresh air to know that that is one thing off my plate that I don't need to stress about, and I really regret spending all that time and money on that. The next thing, number 6, is cheap and uncomfortable shoes. And thinking back through years and years of buying uncomfortable shoes, or asking people to buy me shoes for my birthday or for Christmas, I finally feel like I am 34 years old, and if I really don't like them or I don't think they're comfortable, I don't waste my money on them anymore. And so I think right now I'm getting ready to get rid of one of my last pairs of shoes that I bought, thinking it was going to be something that would bring me a lot of happiness. I thought I really wanted these tall boots, and that was going to be great. And they have not lived up to that. Number 7 is excess storage containers, which I think for every person that has ever wanted to be organized and felt like maybe I just am not because I don't have all those beautiful clear storage containers that all those people have that are super organized. Let me just let you in on a secret. It doesn't work that way. All you people that are just like me and we have a hard time organizing and a hard time keeping it that way, getting a million buckets is not going to change your life. What's going to change your life is actually getting rid of it. So getting rid of a lot of that excess stuff, and instead of getting containers to hold it, just actually getting it out of your house is going to make your life so much easier. So I really regret asking for all this organizational stuff, or like I really regret buying all those storage containers because one, it was just a huge waste of money, a huge waste of resources, and it never turned out the way exactly I thought it would, and I had a really hard time keeping up with it. The next thing is, number 8 is clothes and toys for my daughter in excess. So I know, especially I have, only one daughter, so I, for a long time, would feel that like mom guilt, like, oh, like I want her to look perfect. I want her to have all the toys that are new and cool. And it just doesn't actually matter. Like in the scheme of things, between my mom and my mother-in-law, they buy most of her clothing. And I'm so grateful. Like that's so awesome that we have this resource. And so I really don't need to go out and buy a bunch of excess to try and get my daughter to fit in, because one, my daughter is super confident and she's 5 years old and she doesn't really care. She likes to dress in like a million patterns. And so trying to get her to fit into some kind of mold of a kid that I think she should be just doesn't work for her. So trying to buy all this excess stuff is awful and very painful on the bank account. So this year, we're aiming on buying her 3 gifts, one kind of big gift, which I think we already know what that is, and then maybe like a membership somewhere, and then some little things to go in her stockings. All right, y'all, so we are almost done. This is 9, and the 9th one is my car when I got it brand new. I got it as a birthday present from my husband, and I am very grateful, and I've kept it the past 6 years, and it's kind of been wonderful. It's been great to have a car. It's had a lot of problems. But that is one thing that I would not ask for again, is to get a new car. And it's really because I feel like it was so exciting when I first got it, and just like anything else, it's worn off. Like, it's just my car. It doesn't excite me and get me, I'm not walking outside like, yes, awesome, new car. Like, I just don't feel that kind of stuff about cars. And so just getting something that's reliable, that's going to get me from A to B. And I think the only thing that I would like to change about my car is that I would love to go electric one day. But I'd be very happy getting a much smaller electric car, maybe a hybrid car. And I think that would just be more like economically friendly, because gas is expensive, but it would also just be environmentally friendly, which is even more important to me. And then the last thing, number 10, is buying things that don't necessarily fit perfectly, but they're on sale. And I really regret doing that. And I've done that many, many times. Either because, I'm trying to go to a party and I'm like really looking for like the perfect dress or whatever. And I've done it even recently. Going to a wedding I went to last weekend, I ran in because I was trying to find a dress that would fit the kind of wedding we were going to, and I ended up having to return it anyway because it just didn't fit quite right. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why did I do this? Why do I wait till the last minute and then just buy whatever is on the shelf when I'm obviously not going to be happy with it? So it never got worn and it got returned, and it was a waste of my time and my money. And so I really do regret that. Just like the race to buy something because you feel stressed, or maybe you're trying to like fit a mold to something, like just really reflecting on, why am I buying this? And if it doesn't fit, do I really need it? Like, I think one of the best sayings that I've heard as a minimalist is that if you weren't going to buy it when it was full price, why would you buy it on sale? And I was like, wow, that really makes sense. But even now that I've been doing this for several years, like, I fall in the trap, and we all fall in the trap, I feel like, of just forgetting our ideals and, what our focus needs to be. So this is really helping me to like rethink all these mistakes that I've made and how I can do better in the future. If you've enjoyed this video about decluttering and minimizing, then please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week.